Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. Saskatchewan's Serious Incident Response Team is providing a few more details about the arrest of a woman on a Saskatchewan First Nation earlier this week. On Monday morning, just after 5 o'clock, SIRT says RCMP officers with the Loon Lake Detachment were at a home on the Makwa Sahgaiehcan First Nation north of Lloydminster to arrest a man on an outstanding warrant. It says after a long discussion with the people inside, the man came outside and was arrested. A second man then came out of the house and was also arrested on outstanding warrants. SIRT says during the second arrest, there was a physical altercation between the two officers and a 40-year-old woman. She then left the porch of the house and a second altercation happened between two vehicles. The officers then used physical force and a taser to restrain her. The Ministry of Justice says even though the arrest did not result in serious injuries, SIRT will still look into the force used. The 40-year-old woman involved in the incident was charged with 4 criminal offenses, including possession of cocaine and assaulting a police officer. SIRT is also investigating the death of a man who died in police custody. RCMP say a 37-year-old man was arrested on the Thunderchild First Nation and taken to the Turtleford Detachment yesterday afternoon. About an hour and a half later, he went into medical distress. RCMP provided medical assistance and medical professionals were called, but the man was declared dead at the detachment. A 25-year-old woman has died following a rollover west of Meadow Lake. RCMP say it happened just before 1:30 this morning. The woman was the only person in the vehicle. She was taken to hospital where she was pronounced deceased. She's been identified as being from the Flying Dust First Nation, which is near Meadow Lake. Prince Albert police say a stabbing has taken place on 14th Street East, resulting in a large police presence in the area. The Prince Albert Police Service says road restrictions have been in place since 7 this morning, and police have asked the public to avoid the area. Police continue to investigate the incident. The man accused of second-degree murder in the death of a woman on the highway near Weyburn had his bail review appeal denied. Tanya Myers was killed in September 2025 when she was hit by a bullet while traveling on Highway 39. In November, 43-year-old Chris Fallman was arrested and charged with manslaughter, later upgraded to second-degree murder, as well as intentionally discharging a firearm while being reckless to the life and safety of another person. His bail was denied in November, the decision he was appealing. Good time to be outside and taking part in some festivities. I know the X starts next week, so what do we have in terms of weather coming up?
I tell you right now, John, we've got ourselves some hot conditions, which is great news for the Lakeland region, people looking to get out and enjoy all that the great outdoors has to offer. But it could be a different situation as we get towards Sunday. Could be a bit on the windy side, and then on Monday, well, right now things looking a little cooler. That might be a bit more on the welcome side. But right now, we're going to be keeping our eye on a low that's going to be developing, not so much now, but it's into the weekend, and then tracking into parts of northern Saskatchewan. But all in all, it looks like it's going to be another hot situation across Saskatchewan. We'll talk about those hot numbers later on.
3 giant rocks made out of plastic waste are sparking a public debate over art spending in Saskatoon. Created by 2 Calgary artists, these rocks are made from plastic waste. The city paid nearly $300,000 for the 3 sculptures located at the forestry farm, Diefenbaker Park, and the landfill. The artists say the sculptures aim to get people talking about recycling and plastic waste. The Taxpayers Federation says the project is a waste of money.
Taxpayers shouldn't be shelling out hundreds of thousands of dollars to pay for large plastic rocks. It's ridiculous that anyone at City Hall thought this was a good idea.
The city defended the spending, telling CTV News that the final cost remained within the budget. City Council greenlit $310,000 for public art when it approved an adjustment to the Material Recovery Centre budget in 2021. The province has signed contracts with 26 new primary care nurse practitioners across Saskatchewan. Erin Boyce is one of those practitioners, recently joining a clinic in Martensville. She's part of the second cohort of the Primary Care Nurse Practitioner Contract Program. It was launched last year. It allows nurse practitioners to provide publicly funded primary care through contracts with the Ministry of Health. Under the program, Boyce is expected to provide primary care to at least 800 patients. The health minister says while it's a step in the right direction, more work still needs to be done.
As long as we have unattached patients in the province, it's not enough. right? And so while we still have unattached patients in Warman and Martinsville and other communities, it means we need to add more practitioners.
The third intake for primary care nurse practitioner contracts is now open, and it closes August 23rd. Earlier this year, the province removed the cap on the number of contracts the Ministry of Health can offer. The province's recent heat wave is helping crops that were behind schedule, but for producers in the drier regions, it did have a negative impact. Overall, most winter and spring cereal crops are in good or excellent condition. Most oilseed crops are in good condition, but the high temperatures did negatively impact some crops during the flowering period. About 2/3 of pulse crops are in good to excellent condition. The heat and dry soil conditions were the major contributors to reducing the quality of crops. Some producers are also reporting damage from gophers, aphids, and cabbage seed pod weevils. The Prince Albert exhibition is just days away from welcoming visitors to the exhibition grounds. The City of Prince Albert has announced the 2026 exhibition parade route. Starting at 6 p.m. Tuesday, the parade starts on Central Avenue at 14th Street East. It will move north to River Street, then east to 6th Avenue and south to Exhibition Drive. Barricades will be set up along, and parking is prohibited along the parade route and side streets beginning Tuesday afternoon. The Prince Albert exhibition runs next Wednesday to Sunday. When we come back, dirt bike riders descend on the Muscadet Motocross Park this weekend. Jasmine Pelche previews the third annual Blair Morgan Invitational.
I'm with Glenn from Prince Albert Dirt Riders at the Muscadet Motocross and Ride Park to talk about this weekend's upcoming Blair Morgan Invitational. So what kind of races are we going to be seeing here this weekend?
You're going to be seeing motocross races that encompasses age groups from 4 to 5 to adults, and it'll encompass also very amateur, intermediate, and some professional riders. And these people have been doing the circuit in the summertime on different circuits, the Saskatchewan Motocross Association, the Midwest Amateur Association, and this is called the Triple Crown. It's a northeast grouping that we made up, consisting of Nipawin, Melfort, and Prince Albert, and we started this 3 years ago. So you're going to see riders of all ages, riders of all calibers, including female riders, and we're expecting around 120 riders this weekend, give or take.
How have you watched it develop over the years since year one?
Oh boy, you know, this is our fourth year hosting, but is the third year of the Triple Crown. And over the years, we've seen it develop. The first year we hosted it 4 years ago, we weren't expecting too many people to arrive. It was the first time since 2011 or 2010 that we had actually held a race. And we have seen it grow from, approximately 60, 70 riders now to 120 for our race. The Midwest has gone up to 220 riders. So we're seeing more and more riders every year. Our annual membership has increased probably, by 50% or more over the last 4 years. And same with the day pass members. We're just seeing a large number of people come to the track on any given evening and on weekends, and especially on race day.
Would you say, do you know whether or not motocross is kind of growing a lot in Canada right now, or is this just sort of a Prince Albert thing that we're seeing?
That's a good question. We ask ourselves that question because over the years, we as any sport, you'll kind of see fluctuations. It'll take off, it'll die down. But we've really noticed that here anyway in Prince Albert, again, because of our memberships. And we also go to the Triple Crown, and we have riders that'll go throughout the province and Alberta. And what we're seeing is a real growth in the sport. And you'll see that reflected in the young riders. We'll have 5 events just for the children alone, going from ages 4 to approximately 12, 13 years old. And those are our biggest gates. You'll see 15 riders at those gates when we start the race. So we're seeing a lot of young riders, and the parents are just wonderful to bring them out and start them off. We have a children's track here, and it's used consistently throughout the weekend on weekends. So young riders are showing us that there is definitely an increase in the upcoming riders for the future.
In terms of the young riders, do you find it's sort of a generational thing? Are kids most likely to join, if they have parents that are a little bit more experienced in motocross, or do you see kids come out trying to convince their parents to let them do motocross? What is going on here?
That's exactly what we're seeing. In some cases, it is generational for sure, but we are seeing more, as you said, we're seeing more children leading their parents this way. So we're seeing fathers buying dirt bikes because their son or their daughter are very much involved in it, and we're seeing the parents, the fathers, buying dirt bikes so they can come out and be with their kids, and it's incredible. We love to see that.
For the upcoming weekend, do you know roughly how many of the riders are from PA or the area around here?
The majority of riders will be from the PA district, but we'll see riders from all over the Saskatoon area, and that includes Warman and Martinsville. We'll see riders from Nipawin, Melfort, North Battleford. They're going to be from basically the whole northern part of the province, and we will have riders also coming from the central part of the province as well. They're, like I said, they're very avid. When you get involved in the Triple Crown, it's, again, a series, and you want to try to win the series, so you come up here and you're going to do all 3 events. Again, we are the last of the Triple Crown, so the riders have already gone to Nipawin, Melfort, and now they're going to show up here, and they come from all over the central part of the province and the northern part of the province.
If you were to say something to encourage people to come out and watch some races this weekend, what would it be?
You know, if you've never seen it before, many people have, but if you've never seen it before, I think you need to experience it. We have some of the largest jumps here at this track, and you will see the really good riders, the Event A and the Event B riders, jumping, 25 to 35 feet in the air and traveling 120 feet.
If someone is looking to find out more information, is there a website or a social media page that they can go to?
Yes, if you just go to www.padr //HTTP, but you just go to padr.ca and everything will come up. Our website is there. It tells you how to join. There's annual memberships, day pass memberships, whatever you need is there. And you can just pay online if you want to become a member, get a day pass, try it out. A lot of people try out for a day and they're hooked.
Well, you got a big weekend to look forward to. Thank you for taking some time to speak with me about it.
Well, thank you very much for having us. We appreciate the publicity, and hopefully it'll help us, and thank you for doing it.
Jeff has a look at weather that's coming up shortly. Plus, Canadians are unaware of the risks of hepatitis B, according to a new survey. Jeff, with our eyes to the sky, what are we finding when we're looking at the weather here in the next few days?
Well, the next few days, we don't have to look at the eye of the sky to know that it's going to be hot. At least we can tell you that it's hot, and that doesn't have a lot to do with the cloud cover or anything like that, John. But we do have the possibility of some, there's always the possibility of, some instability. There's so much moisture out there, so something could happen. That could certainly be true of the, some parts of Saskatchewan. Not so much Prince Albert area, but we're going to talk about that in a second or two. But, we've got a persistent flow of persistent low off the west coast, and this low is tracking a lot of rain into the north coast. Unfortunately, not a lot of the rain that we need in the interior to deal with some of these wildfires that are still an issue in parts of British Columbia. Alberta and Saskatchewan, a low will develop, but most likely Saturday phenomenon and track through northern areas. So central and southern parts of the prairies are still going to remain under the impact of that big old high, that low, that high down in the States that is really reaching up towards us. So that's going to be the issue. If your travels are taking up towards Edmonton Sunday, they're expecting rain. Let's hope it isn't the kind of rain like they've had for the last couple of weekends, at least in shots that they've had with the clement weather and stormy conditions and flooding. We've got ourselves the futurecast next 12 or 24 hours. Not much in the way of wind. You can certainly see those pressure lines staying very far apart. But yeah, some scattered or isolated showers look like they're sticking around parts of northern Saskatchewan. There may be down in southeastern Saskatchewan, southwestern Manitoba, some issues tomorrow morning, or tomorrow rather, but we'll wait and see on that. Right now, there's no issue. No, there are no watches or warnings that have been sent out regarding that. 13 degrees for Spiritwood tonight, 14 for the Battlefords, 12 for Candle Lake, 13 for Birch Hills, clear skies in Roster, and 12 degrees. Nipawin, 12 degrees, and 13 in Melfort. On to tomorrow's temperature as well as we head into the long weekend. 26 degrees for Spiritwood with mainly cloudy skies, mainly sunny, and 28 in the Battlefords, 26 in Candle Lake and Birch Hills with mainly cloudy skies. A similar situation for Nipawin. Rostern expected to hit 27 degrees with mainly cloudy skies on Friday, and mainly cloudy again in Melfort, 25 degrees. So temperatures at or slightly above seasonal values for this time of late July, early August. 12 degrees we have for the overnight temperature in Prince Albert. A slight chance of showers, not a surprise this time of year. The wind's backing off in the overnight, and then as we roll into tomorrow, 20 27 degrees, so a couple of points above seasonal, mainly cloudy skies, winds from the east at 15 kilometers an hour. And then the 7-day outlook for the Gateway City, 29 degrees on Saturday. Sunday, windy, wind gusts up to 60 kilometers an hour, so a very windy day there. 23. Holiday Monday, a bit on the cool side. That may be welcome, but 16 is a bit crisp. In fact, that's been one of our overnight temperatures as of late, but 16 degrees for a high on Holiday Monday, 22 on Back to Work Tuesday, Wednesday 22, and Thursday we also have some temperatures that are slightly below seasonal, 23 with mainly cloudy skies.
It's almost like if you make soup on Monday, Jeff, it'll be gazpacho by dinner time.
Gazpacho.
It's the cold soup, right?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
All right, little food for thought for you, Jeff.
Yes, indeed.
Riders running back A.J. Ouellette is week to week after a leg injury last week, so rookie Quali Conley could see another start this week against Edmonton. Conley scored his first career touchdown in his CFL debut against Toronto. In 2 games, he's got 107 yards on 20 carries. He's also caught 3 passes out of the backfield for 17 yards. Conley says the early season reps have allowed him to settle in and gain confidence.
The first time was just, all like the jitters out and actually like playing in the CFL game and how different it is from like the States, and just be more confident of my playing style. Just be more patient. I feel like my reads is everywhere. I wasn't like locked in, so just be more locked in, more focused, more patient.
Ouellette is expected to miss at least Saturday's game in Edmonton, possibly more. The team says it will reevaluate his progress on a week-to-week basis, but there's no timeline for his return. The Regina Pats have announced some changes regarding ticket prices heading into next season. The changes include a 15% reduction on single-game ticket prices, the introduction of family zone tickets starting at $12.50, and weekday pricing starting at $12.25. Season ticket members will get a $170 concession credit delivered as a $5 credit for each regular season home game. The organization said the focus of these changes is centered around affordability, family access, and fun.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
A recent survey suggests nearly 90% of Canadians are unaware of hepatitis B, with less than a third of people knowing it is a major cancer risk. Pauline Chan has the details.
Victor Chen was born in Taipei and was diagnosed with hepatitis B at birth.
My entire maternal family has Hep B, and so this is a part of our family's health history.
And early detection has been good for his health.
So I actually am able to live pretty much perfectly normally. I monitor my Hep B the state of my Hep B on an annual basis. So I go in for a checkup. What I do is I get an ultrasound of my liver.
But Dr. Jordan Felt says hepatitis awareness is actually extremely low in Canada.
This is an infection that infects somewhere in the order of 240 million people around the world. So that's roughly 10 times as many people as have HIV. And it actually causes more deaths every year than HIV. And this infects about 260,000 Canadians.
Many don't even know they have it until severe liver damage, even liver cancer, has developed.
The best thing about liver disease is it has no symptoms. And the worst thing about liver disease is it has no symptoms. So people can be living with chronic hepatitis B infection literally for their entire lives without recognizing this.
While Hep B can be transmitted sexually or through close contact, like with a family member, by far the most common method of transmission is from infected mothers who infect their babies during birth.
That's why the WHO and most countries around the world recommend infant or even birth dose vaccination. So getting the vaccine within the first day of life. And Canada has a bit of a haphazard approach to this.
Although hepatitis is more common in immigrants from areas where Hep B is endemic, he says Canada is a very diverse and multicultural country. He's calling for Canada-wide Hep B vaccinations for all babies and wider screening for adults. Victor Chen says knowing what you're dealing with is key to living a healthy and fulfilling life. Canada has committed to the World Health Organization's goal of eliminating viral hepatitis as a public health threat by the year 2030. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Toronto Public Health is reporting its first human case of West Nile virus this year. West Nile virus is transmitted to people through the bite of infected mosquitoes. Symptoms usually develop between 2 and 14 days after a person's bitten. They include fever, headache, nausea, vomiting, body aches, skin rash, swollen lymph glands, and a stiff neck. Toronto Public Health says people can protect themselves by wearing light-colored clothing, long sleeve shirts rather, and pants when outside, as well as applying insect repellent. They're also advising people to remove standing water from their properties. It's where mosquitoes breed. All right, Jeff, mosquitoes probably are not breeding in this next spot because Hawaii's Kilauea volcano is stirring once again. It is spewing lava from a dome fountain, creating a really stunning pool of lava. There's currently an orange watch at the famous volcano, and that means it's exhibiting heightened or escalating unrest. Kilauea is one of the most active volcanoes in the world. It's a shield volcano, meaning thin basalt magma flows long distances before it cools. That's a difference from stratovolcanoes, Jeff, like Mount St. Helens, which are much more dangerous because they shoot out that thick, chunky magma that traps gas and explodes, sending volcanic mudslides down the mountain. So there you go. Yeah. Something to learn.
Well, you're too young, quite frankly, but Mount St. Helens, that was an unbelievable explosion and tragic for so many of the people that didn't get out of the way.
I did learn a little bit about volcanoes. I took a natural disasters class in college once. And
That's a class?
Just watching YouTube videos of crazy stuff like that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yes, I'd love to see a volcano up close. So anyhow, I don't know if we have any time for this. I'll just simply tell you it's going to be not volcano hot, but it's going to be hot in the next couple of days.